Hey guys, so today I'm going to take a second to talk to you how I want you to set up your social studies composition book. So this is a book we're going to use all year, and I'm hoping it will actually travel with you to 7th grade to be used as a resource. It needs to be set up pretty specifically, so I'm going to go through today. Today I'm going to use my notebook. I have an atlas, I have a pencil, and then I have the four activity sheets that will hand it out to you. Mine, however, are already cut out and ready to go for today's activity. So the first thing you need to do is open up to the very first clean page, and at the top of this page I want you to write table of contents. This page is going to be blank. We're going to handwrite in as we insert in things into our notebook. So it doesn't have a page at the bottom of it, it's just blank. Next, when we flip it over, we're going to label the next page behind that TOC, which stands for another table of contents, and finally another table of contents. So just to reiterate that, I have one actually labeled table of contents, and then I have two pages called TOC, short abbreviated for table of contents. On our very next page, I'm going to head to the bottom, and I'm actually going to label this page, page 1, with a little circle. Coming over to the next bottom, I'm going to label this page 2 with a circle. I'm going to go ahead and do that only to page 6. 4, 5, and 6. That's what we're going to do today. So today we're going to leave table of contents empty, TOC, TOC empty. Our very first page that we're going to attach is our world map. And notice when I cut this out, I wasn't going crazy. I took my time. My edges are nice and soft. Everything looks correct. It's going to sit on my first page, page 1, and it's going to sit going vertically. So what I'll need to do there is throw on a little bit of glue, and I'm not going to get crazy with it, but I want to put enough on so I know that it sticks. Put that much on. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over. Try to center it the best that I can and just lay it flat. So now I have a world map, and on this world map I have all 7 continents, and then I have all 7 oceans. Next, I'm going to come across to the next page, page number 2, and I'm going to put my map of the United States on here. Again, I don't want to get crazy with the glue, but I do want to use enough so that it actually sticks and it's not coming off, causing a headache. Again, I'm going to set this going vertically so that it fits onto the paper. I don't want any overhang. Push it down, and there we go. It's okay if a few of your ends are coming up. So that's page 1 and page 2. So I'm going to shut it, maybe squeeze it a little bit. Okay, next I want to go from page 1, page 2. Now I want to get to page 3. Page 3, we're going to glue a blank map, the physical world with our 7 continents and our 5 oceans, and notice there's no labels, just numbers. So we're going to go ahead and glue that on to page 3. Glue it again, maybe even using that red line as a guide. Glue it on and push it on to page 3. Then I'm going to skip page 4 and go straight to page 5. And I'm going to go ahead and add in my final blank for today. Again, map of the U.S., just numbers, no actual names. And I'm going to apply my glue, flip over, try to keep it out straight, a little tricky. Put it on so that it looks nice and does not crinkle licking. Again, shut your book and push. Now, for the labeling. The first thing you want to label in our table of contents are our pages we just added in. So if you need to refer back, simply fold over And if you see on page 1, we've added a map of the world. So over here, I'm going to put page 1, and I'm going to put map of world. And then down here on page 2, skip over to page 2, I'll find that I have on page 2 a map of the U.S. Map of U.S. And then come down to page 3 and page 4. So page 3 and 4 are both my blank world map. So on page 3 I have the blank world. Over here I don't have anything yet, but I'm about to add something. I'm about to add information about the world. So we're going to put blank map of world. We can leave 4 blank for now. There's nothing there. On 5, I have a blank map of US. In page 6, we have nothing yet. So what I would like you to do is, first of all, turn to your page 4, and we're actually going to write in all of the continents and oceans. So I'm going to put a title over here, Continents and Oceans. Now, if you don't know how to spell that, you can find that at the top of the page over here, Continents and Oceans. So these all have numbers with them. All the continents have numbers, the oceans have numbers. You'll start by numbering them. Number 1 is the first continent, then you have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the last 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, all are oceans. And you'll notice there's 2 number 11s. It's because the world is round and this is the same ocean. So we're going to come over here and we're going to write a number 1. And we're going to label what number 1 is. Number 1 happens to be Africa. Okay, that's also why we have an atlas out. If you don't know the names of the continents or how to spell them correctly, you can use your atlas. In your atlas, you have lots of world maps, you have lots of information, country maps, continent maps. If you go to page 24 and 25, that is where you will find continent maps that spell out the continents correctly along with the oceans. So that will definitely help you with your world map. You'll continue this for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then over here I'm going to put 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So on one side I have all my continents, and on the other side I have my oceans. We're going to do the exact same thing, except obviously at a higher level or a higher volume with our states. There are 50 labeled states on here. So we are going to label our page states. And then we're simply going to start labeling all of those. So we're not going to be able to skip lines. We're going to have to start with number 1, start here. And if you do not know the names, I'm assuming not everyone knows the exact names and spelling, we're going to be able to use our atlas on our tables. If you flip to page 56 and 57 in your atlas, all of the states have their correct spelling and labels right here. I am not allowing us to use abbreviations on here. We need to be spelling out the states and spelling them correctly. That means with proper capitalization and punctuation. It's legible, it's quick, it's simple, everything is spelled right, and I have my capital letter. Okay, so then you would go on to your next one, number 2. And you may have to keep flipping back and forth. Now, if you don't want to use your atlas, you actually have another resource right here in the beginning of your map. So if you would rather flip back and forth like this to help you out, or if you'd rather flip back and forth with this map to help you out, you can. I almost prefer the atlas because I can just keep one open and keep the other open, and there's no flipping back and forth. The last step today then would be to fill in our blanks for 4 and 5. Page 4 is going to have our continents and oceans labeled. Page 6 will have our states. And now we'll know every time we get into the book that if we need a quick study or if we need a quick look at something, we have that accessible to us. And that's what you should have done by the end of the hour today, is cut out your papers, glue them to the appropriate areas. If you need to at any point in time stop and rewind this video, you can do that. We will eventually add on to our table of contents here. When you are done, make sure that you also have your first and last name. I just have my last name. First and last name on your notebook, because we'll be putting them away not by class period number, but rather by last name.